I don't know why you are labeling me before you hear my comment. You are affecting how the viewer listens to me, but it's fine.
Okay.
I've always said it even here, that Ndindi Nyoro is a master of doublespeak.
Okay.
He is a person who always exercises political convenience, but will always want to sound intellectual. And that's why most of the time you hear him, when the politics is working for him, he is entirely on that side. That's how we were with him in Jubilee, when the politics was working for him. When the politics was not working for him, he looked for a good reason to run away from President Uhuru Kenyatta, because that was convenient to do then. In the same breath, he did that exactly with this administration, that when the Gen Z went to the streets and complained about the finance bill, he was at its helm as the chair of the budget committee. But then, because he was then fired, remember he did not resign. When he gets fired from being the chair of the budget committee, now he's an expert of finance and economics, and he should be the one guiding the country and telling us what needs to be spent where. And that's why, from a person who really believes in leadership of consistency, he is not one of those leaders that I highly admire. But during the launch of what he did yesterday, the first thing I must say is that I liked the optics, because I like the packaging of what he did. It came out in an organized manner, quite presidential, looking like he really knows what he wants to do. And he is among the first people who are purporting to be in the one-term brigade who has an attempt at solutions of the country. So I liked the packaging in itself. Part of me was feeling like that is what I've always felt. Something close to that is what I've always felt Sifuna needed to do, so that he can be taken a bit more seriously. And that's why you can be able to see that...
Yeah, Adrian, would you mind listening?
Whereas
I see you're on your phone and something big is going on.
Whenever they mention Leader Mwananchi, anything that is against us, we become so excited.
Can I proceed?
No, come on.
I think
No.
There is a way you keep you are turning me into Ndindi Nyoro, and I'm going to accept this.
I'm just 1 minute in.
Yes, he's 1 minute in.
Spoken for 47 minutes.
It's 1 minute in.
So I was saying that Ndindi Nyoro is not one of those people that I really consider highly because of his doublespeak, and because I consider him one of those politicians who exercises politics of convenience. But in the launch of his political party, I liked the optics. I liked the packaging. He was able to come out more seriously, and that's why when you see a person who is doing something being streamed live, I think across 3 media houses, that shows depth, and also the message that he had in terms of just providing the solutions that he thinks the country should be able to look like this. So that packaging for me was good enough, and I was saying that's what I hoped that Sifuna would do. My only problem with most of his messaging is that he needs a new constitution, because all your solutions cannot be pegged on a new constitution, because every solution that he has for the country cannot survive this constitution. He says we need legislation to change the law. In every solution, he needs legislation to change the law, because at the end of the day, I expect that when someone wants to run for the office of the president, you first of all make us imagine the country as it is now and how you'll make it better as it is, not from just the framework of everything you're saying needs a new law. But then what will be the impact of this in terms of the Mount Kenya politics? Whereas I agree that I doubt that he will have up to 40% penetration where DCP has already gathered ground. There is one thing that he comes in with, where he presents Mount Kenya with a formidable option. Because as it stands today, Mount Kenya has a dominant party with a party leader who can't run for president, at least according to the law of the land today. So this presents them with an option of a person who can actually run for that office. And number two, it presents him with a person who can be built for the future. There is a reason why today when you go to Bungoma, there is excitement around Sifuna. It's not because there is something huge he has done for them. Not because there is something Sifuna has done for any people in Western Kenya. But the excitement is centered around the hope of the future, that this is a young person that we can start building for the future. Ndindi Nyoro presents that to the mountain, and you can't wish it away. Remember, he's not just an ordinary member of parliament like Nani was. He's a member of parliament with quite a national outlook. I can't really deny him that. He has quite a national outlook. He's a member of parliament that someone in Bungoma would know. He's a member of parliament that someone in Turkana would know. And therefore, he has quite a national attribute, which makes him believable when he wants to say that he wants to aspire for the future. And because normally human beings by nature they are selfish, and self-preservation is always their highest instinct, I will not be shocked to see Murang'a as a county now want to coalesce around this hope of theirs and start having squabbles around themselves, saying, wait a minute, we have supported you guys from wherever, we have supported others from wherever, why can't you guys support us from Murang'a? The conversation that is in Mount Kenya East can degenerate into Murang'a, and these ones can now want to say, wait a minute, okay, fine, we are okay with the DCP, but you guys cannot provide a presidential candidate. We have one within us. Why can't you guys support us in that?
Yeah.
I foresee such kind of a thing. But generally within his launch, I think the optics was good, but I also saw a bit of lack of confidence in himself. One, he didn't come out outrightly to say he's the party leader of that party. He scattered around the bush. He didn't really come out very straight. Because you see, when you mean to do something, you go ahead and say it. He looked like he's in doubt of himself in terms of the party. He seemed to sneak in the party. He seemed to sneak in his position in the party. Which to me looked quite interesting in terms of, because what are your confidence levels on this?
I think his uncle was already mobilizing. Even as he was planning his press conference, his uncle Nyoro was mobilizing heavily against him.
But he also said that he has consulted everybody. Yeah. And I felt, okay, fine. Was it really necessary to say so, especially when you know? Yeah. I think if he's a good student of politics, he knew very well that Nyoro will refuse the fact that he said he consulted him. Yeah. So I don't know that it was a very convenient point to say. And also, I look at, there's this other point he said that when he was reading his speech, yes. Yeah, and he kept saying that every time he read it, I don't know that you saw, he kept saying, you know, I wrote this myself. Yeah, and I kept wondering, if you wrote it yourself, what is the...
Yeah, do you know if you guys wrote it for him?
No, I'm not saying anyone wrote it for him, but I'm just saying from a psychology perspective.
Yeah, it was interesting. His body language was pretty dubious.
Yeah, his body language didn't come out very well. And also when I look at now, most of the way now there where I agree with Wesley is that most of what he says about the problem of the politics, the public would see the problem in him. Because he says people cannot enrich themselves in politics. He's a young politician, and when people see the wealth that he has, his shares, his public shares at KPLC and all this, people are wondering, okay, fine, and where did all these actually come from? Because they do not know any other source away from you coming from Kenyatta University and then joining the politics. So most of the problem he prescribes on the country, he looks like a good model of the problem. Yeah. But by and large, I think the presentation was
I want to ask you a question, and the question I want to ask you, I would ask Bolo also, and